Today we're going to move on to multi-step inequalities. And as we mentioned earlier, that inequalities are just like equations, except they have less than or greater than symbols in them instead of equal signs. And when it comes to solving a multi-step inequality, it's just like solving a multi-step equation, except for that one rule about switching an inequality when you multiply or divide by a negative. So, looking at the steps then that we need to use to describe or to solve a multi-step inequality. First of all, we would distribute to get rid of any parentheses. Then we would combine like terms on the same side, and then get the variable on one side and use by using inverse operations. And then last of all, we would undo, add and subtract first, and then undo and multiply or divide, and that would be how we finish solving the inequality. So let's get right into it and practice some. Oh, and also remember, when you multiply or divide by a negative number, you have to flip the inequality sign to keep the inequality true. So on our first one, there are no parentheses, but we do need to move all the variables to one side and all the constants to the other. So let's start by subtracting 8y from both sides to move the variables to the left. And then so 6y minus 8y is negative 2y. We still have minus 5 right there is greater than or equal to negative 11. Then we are going to add 5 to both sides. And we end up with negative 2y is greater than or equal to negative 6, because negative 11 plus 5 is negative 6. So in this case, we do have to divide by that negative 2. That's kind of significant, because that means we have to switch the inequality symbol. And to get our final answer, we have y is less than or equal to positive 3. Because negative 6 divided by negative 2 is positive 3. All right, here's one that does have parentheses in it. Let's see how that one's going to work. We go 5 times v and 5 times that minus 2 to simplify out the parentheses. So we have 8v plus 10v, and 5 times minus 2 is minus 10. And all of that is greater than or equal to negative 28. Then we add 10 to both sides and combine the like terms on the left side. That will give us 2v is greater than or equal to negative 18. Then we finish off by dividing by 2. And since we're dividing by a positive number, the inequality symbol stays the same. So we have v is greater than or equal to negative 9. Because negative 18 divided by 2 is negative 9. All right. This next one, we have a set of parentheses. So let's multiply that 5 by each term inside to give us 10w plus 35. And all that's greater than or equal to and all of that is greater than or equal to 2w plus 3. So if we move the w's to the left side by minusing 2w, that will leave us with 8w plus 35 is greater than or equal to 3. So then our next move would be to minus 35 from both sides. And 3 take away 35 would be 30. It would be negative 32. So then you divide by 8. and you end up with W is greater than or equal to -4. The inequality symbol did not switch because we divided by a positive number. And there we go. So let's do a couple more examples. So this one would be -7x plus 4x minus 8 is greater than or equal to -29. And then -7x plus 4x is -3x minus 8 is greater than or equal to -29. So we're going to add 8 to both sides. And that gives us -3x is greater than or equal to -21. So then we just divide by -3. And that's going to switch our inequality. So we'll have x is less than or equal to 7 for our final answer on that one. So as you can see, they take a few steps, but we've had these kinds of steps before. We've learned about it. This is our chance to practice it and get really good at it. Now on Alex, you might see something like this. 7w plus 3 is greater than 66. If I minus 3 from both sides, I would get 7w is greater than 63. Then I would divide by 7. So anything greater than 9 is a solution. So yes, no, no, no. And so that would be, our one solution would be 10, because that's the one that's greater than 9. So our assignment is number 33, multi-step inequalities. Good luck.